In this video, I'm going to show you the apps that I have on my iPhone relevant to vet school, as well as a couple of other apps that I use on a daily basis regarding everyday productivity and maintaining healthy habits. So stick around. Okay, so with the introduction of iOS 14, we now can customize our phones to be as efficient as we'd like them to be. For me, I particularly like a less is more approach, a little bit more streamlined, where I can only see the apps that I need to access on a regular basis. So I only have 3 screens. This first screen that you see here is the one that I primarily use multiple times throughout the day. The second screen I do access on a regular basis as well. The top left widget there, that's for sunrise, sunset, because I usually like to go for a run or a ride as the sun is coming up. And the bottom right is where I can see if I have anything pressing coming up on my calendar at a quick glance. I also access YouTube here, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes because it is relevant to studying effectively. You'll notice the bottom right, I have the forest widget. Now, for whatever reason, when I'm trying to share the screen here, it makes the screen go black, so I can't actually show you mine this way. But if you haven't downloaded Forest, I really recommend that you do for a couple reasons. One, they actually do plant real trees. Second, they've made a lot of really great upgrades where if you like to gamify your studying, you can have friends join you, and you can even earn points to purchase different types of whimsical trees if you're into that, which is totally cool. So you can really design your forest. I use this on a regular basis just to make sure I don't use my phone when I'm supposed to be studying, because if you pick up your phone while you have a study session going on, you actually kill the tree. And whether or not it's fake or not, that bothers me. All right, so let's jump into my favorite note-taking app, and that is Notion. If you've watched my other video, you've seen how I organize and build my note-taking system. I love the fact that I can access all of that right here on my phone, which means I can access everything that I need to study right at my fingertips anywhere I am without any excuse that I cannot study. Let's take a look at how I actually use this. Now, this particular toggle is already open right now because this is where I store any directions that I have from my professor, i.e. required reading. So since that was open, I'll give you a quick look at this. Now, I've created these to be a check-off list so I can cross off what I've already read so that I don't have to worry about, did I do that or not? I love the fact that I can embed YouTube videos right into my Notion space so I don't have to exit my Notion app to watch content that's relevant to what I'm studying. Every time there's a toggle, it is a cue to me that I need to be prepared to answer questions. In this case, it's simply rattling off information. For example, the epidermis, I need to be able to talk about what the epidermis does and how it's organized. Even within this dropdown, you'll notice that I have another toggle, which means I need to go a little bit deeper into those descriptions and be able to talk about those different layers. And I need to know specifics about each one of those layers. So you get the idea here where I can simply collapse or expand each one of these toggles and test myself on a regular basis on whether or not I can comfortably talk about these different things, but also be able to share this information with a fellow student, and we can quiz each other back and forth. Because that's the other great thing about Notion. I can share all of this with someone else with my Notion platform. Let's take a look at Merck Vet. Merck Vet is a very veterinary specific resource that I also use on a daily basis. There's content, there's videos, there's calculators, news and commentary, and I can even create a favorites list if I have something that I want to reference on a frequent basis. It's a free app. I highly encourage you to download this. Now, I cannot recommend VetPocket highly enough. If you're not following her on Instagram, please do so. Every Monday, she posts a veterinary math question that's really fun to solve, and you can brush up on your skills or make sure you maintain the ones that you have, even learn some new ones. So the VetPocket calculator is extremely organized, very easy to use. Any one of these drugs you can click on, and it talks about the route. You can enter in the patient's specifics, so it will tell you what it is you need to do. It's all organized here at the top. You can use your calculator on the fly, and you can stay within the app rather than having to go back and forth between your calculator that's embedded in your iPhone. She also has a fluid app that also serves the same purpose, where you can calculate your CRIs, your dilution, your fluid rates, your drip rates, anything you might need without having to worry about whether or not your math was correct. Plums, of course, is a resource that I highly encourage you to download the Plums app now. Go to their website. It is how you start to really understand pharmaceuticals and what they're used for. I want to show you something in YouTube that I use on a daily basis, relevant to studying, as well as something I reference for sleep. Okay, so I love this channel by Jody Hatton. It's that top video there. He's a guy that really did his homework on how binaural beats work and how they affect our neurology. So this 20-minute power nap is something that I will visit, if not every day, typically every other day, depending on where my energy levels are, or I'll often use it after a rough training session, and I just really want to maximize my recovery. You do have to have your headphones on, but the way this works is it taps into our brain waves. And by using certain frequencies, we actually maximize the amount of rest that our body feels like we're getting. Cannot recommend it highly enough. I was very skeptical when I first started. Now, I can take a 20-minute nap and feel like I've slept for a few hours. Definitely recommend you looking into this. Now, I've already said I'm a huge fan of Jody Hatton's. Not surprising, he actually has binaural beats that are effective for studying and concentration. And I can honestly tell you, this also works very effectively. Now, if I'm not in the mood to listen to binaural beats and I really just want to feel like I've got an ambiance that I'm sitting in for studying, like a coffee shop, I can pull up one of these videos and it creates that atmosphere without me ever having to leave. Especially if I use my headphones, it does create sort of that surround sound. In my case, I like the rainy night coffee shop with a little bit of jazz music, something that's not too distracting, but it still provides that same feel. I really like the Calmed by Nature YouTube channel, so you might want to check that out. I'm sure they'll have something that you'll enjoy there. Okay, so there you have it. That is my current iteration of the iOS 14 platform with the apps that I'm using every day. I'm certain that's going to change, whether it's just because I want to look at something different or I start utilizing different applications. If you know of any apps that I should be checking out, please list them in the comments below. Now, two that I accidentally forgot to discuss, which is weird because I use them every day, Headspace and Beyond the Whiteboard. Headspace, obviously, for meditation, for my mental well-being, and Beyond the Whiteboard is how I log my physical training sessions. So both of those aspects of my life are extraordinarily important to me. So find some way to make sure you're prioritizing your mental health as well as your physical health, and make sure you make time for those things. All right, I'm going to go enjoy this beautiful fall weather with my appropriate flannel attire. I'll see you guys in the next video.